Okay, so we've got a really nice one here. Just having a listen on 40 meters, and as you can see, 40 into Europe long path, and also USA short path at the moment. This can only be called a bloody nice radio. This is the FT1000 MK5. And there was a time where you could walk into any Dick Smith and go, fantastic, there's a Mark 5 for sale. You could see it, play with it, and in the year 2020, turn him down a little bit, the year 2020, things have changed. Finding one of these is a little bit harder. Okay, so what were they? They were significant because of the PA stage, and also have a look at how they did their PA. I mean, look at this heat seeking, the way they did. They just had to do something different that was just quite nice, and they came up with something I think is just a real beautiful radio. When I got the opportunity to buy this and have a bit of a play with it, I thought, wow, it's been a long time since I've played with one. And from the moment I turned it on, it was like all these memories coming back about, that's right, these things were a bloody good radio. It's this was the big competitor to the TS950 SDX. Sort of, I suppose, to some degree, there'd be ICOM, I suppose, thinking the 781, but the 781 was probably the real flagship at the time for ICOM, and that probably just had a few more bells and whistles with the introduction of a CRT spectrum scope. But the Mark V was just something that, as people know, I've got an FT1000 1000D here with the full filter kit, etc. Now this one's fully fitted out, and just in a little bit of playing that I've been doing here, it's reminded me just how good Yaesu's receivers were. This was the 200 watt output version 2. Rarely did I ever see any of these actually hit 200 watts, by the way. I always thought that was a little bit overstated, but look, a bit like the 950 SDX and a few of the other radios, 150 plus absolutely every day, depending on band, etc. Anyway, these radios, just there wasn't much they missed. They really did have full metering as far as you could just change to look at anything you wanted, ALC, compression, etc. SWR, current, how much current you're drawing. Hang on, I'll just make sure that one's there. Hello 1 2, hello 1 2, hello. About 10 amps just there. And that's it. Oh, I just heard my tuner go then, actually, in the other room, and I just thought about that. There's a very good chance that we weren't actually... Hang on, I'll just give that a carrier. It's better, it's 1.03 now, and that's sort of talking up to about 150 watts with an FM carrier, 154 watts. May not have that completely turned up too. Obviously, they can do this all day long. They really do. Now that we've got the antenna tuned, we'll actually hear quite a bit more. I had the tuner set up for 80 meters from last night, and my fault. Okay, so a lot of long path Europe. That's Indonesia actually there, the YB series guys. Geez, I'll tell you what, whenever you want to do a video, the band will go quiet. There was quite a few on just before, and let's have a look here. I'll leave it on there just for a minute. The amount of things that you could do with these, especially in this area over here, with what they call the EDSP and all their different noise reductions. And as you can tell, just by the sound, see how it's... Oh, sorry. That would help a bit. So no noise reduction. Look at that. Nice. I like B, C maybe. Anyway, you had quite a few things to play with there, and it was a amazing radio for getting rid of noise. The Yaesu receiver at the time, I think, really, as much as I'm an Icon fan, and I'll go back to off again. Now he's pretty strong, to be fair, and without noise reduction coming in quite okay. So probably not a great example, really, but still. So what else do you got? You've got the ability. There's a sub receiver here. So if I turn that up there, I'm obviously not turned on at the moment. No, I'm not. I'll switch that over to tick. Sorry. And you've got monitor to listen to yourself. Squelch, of course, for probably more FM. Class A. Now, let's just go off that frequency a little bit. Hello, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. So Class A, 1 2 3. So a lot less power coming in Class A, but obviously if we had a spectrum analyzer here that could just monitor that, that should have actually tightened the signal up a little bit as well. So this was another feature of the high voltage power supply, and using, pretty sure they were 48 volts, but there's a part of me just thinking, were they 28 volts? I'll need to double check that, but the PA was high voltage PA for the obviously the high power stage. So what else can I think of on this that astounded me? I think the general, just everything was quite a few ways to change the bandwidth, etc. Tuner. What was the VRF? I'm trying to remember what the VRF is. Oh boy, it's been a while for me. Noise plugin, etc., etc. AB antenna, which was the other thing too. You had 2 antenna ports on there. You could have an external receiver, and that intercept point where if you're getting noise. This was something that Kenwood probably did a little bit better with their IPO, but it still was pretty good in the fact if you had a signal that you just were trying to get the best and sometimes you wouldn't be hearing it, and sometimes you could just sort of bring that noise level down, and his signal may just sort of not degrade, and it may actually get in fact a better sounding signal. Yaesu's IPO I've always found was a bit average, but their noise blanking and their receiver in general, absolutely fantastic. So this is really just me having a Saturday night look at this radio. This radio's been here since Fletch dropped it off to me, and thank you, Fletch. Fletch actually did a special trip to Bungadore. Is that Bungadore? I don't know. And Fletch actually didn't just pick up that. He also picked up, boy, we've got some boxes here at the moment, over here. This is a TS830S Gold Edition, and we'll pull that out. Now, the Gold Edition was very collectible, came with all filters, etc. And, of course, tuners and VFOs and speakers somewhere. I've got other bits in here, I think, from memory. Oh, yeah, there's a speaker in this box here. So, mostly original boxes, actually, not too bad, for sure. So, yeah. But anyway, that's, excuse me, that's the FT1000 MK5. I got to say, I think just a beautiful radio. I just wish there was a little bit stronger from Europe at the moment. Before I started this video, there was it was actually some US guys that were quite strong. I think 138.5 it was, but okay, we just need his call sign. We know he's in Oscar Charlie 21, but more Indonesian stations, sorry. I thought he might have been Long Path Europe, but 40 today has been a very average day. But at the moment, we're really getting a lot of, sorry about that noise, we're getting a lot of YB stations up in Indonesia, and they're quite strong. But normally this time of night, it's about 10:30 local time here in Tangambalanga, northeast Victoria. Normally there's a few, guys in the US having a bit of a chat, but of course it is Saturday night here. Maybe people have got a life versus me and actually out doing something. And good luck to them if they are. That's great. Anyway, so that's pretty much just a bit of a look. I haven't really bothered to do our usual receiver tests and etc. I just thought we'd put it on the, that's on the 40 metre beam pointing Long Path Europe at the moment. And I've just run a line sort of into this room, which we've got to get some permanent lines done. It's a bit of a mess at the moment, but it will get there. And what are we on? Day 10 out of bed straight, by the way. So for those that have been helping me health-wise and different suggestions, and I'll tell you what, I love the suggestions. The best one absolutely comes from Donna. Keep drinking the water. I think she's right. I took a bit of a break from it, I must be honest. I went to the dark side, but I've been drinking a fair bit of water again, and I think that's helping to stop dehydration, etc., etc. All right, well, thanks very much for having a look at this video of the FT1000, Mark 5, but it's actually a 1000 MP Mark 5, but I don't think anyone calls it that. Most people just call an FT1000 Mark 5, and if you can get your hands on one of these, I really think, very, very collectible radio. Certainly had a lot of fun just having a bit of a play. 73s to you from VK3 Charlie Mike, and we'll be back soon with probably something else a little different, I'm sure. Cheers all.